Well, hello, hi. It is me, it is I, Smoltan Didi, your Khadi, and these here very internet akastraha and bakalau yala. Jojo is fucking full of shit. And if you think what Mabusi said was a step too far, I'm here to let you know she needs a couple more steps for it to be nearly enough. Alright, but we'll get to that part at the very end, because her and Zama, they really trigger me. Right, they're the kind of villain that I don't like on reality television, because their behavior is that of like real life abusers, and I would rather just like a messy bitch who likes to like, you know, do some khananing and some bone carrying and some skinnering and just like, you know, like beef, man. They're very triggering for me, both of them. I can't do it, right? But we'll get to that at the end. Real Housewives of Durban, episode 5 review. Let's get into it. At opening, we have, what's her name? Angel. Angel goes to a spa date with her mom. I told you guys in the last review that this thing where somebody makes mention of a family member and then we come and add on and make like they were talking ill of the family member. From what I'm gathering, because none of it is on screen, it's all skinnering. It's all a conversation that everybody has had with Zama via phone call, or Zama went around calling people saying Angel isn't who she's posturing to be. These are her parents' things and she's making like they're hers. Where in there, if that's what was said, which is what's being communicated to us because we don't have these footages, shout out to Jocelyn, but like, where here has she spoken ill of your parents? She may have spoken ill of you as you being something that you're not, and posturing to be a businesswoman, a person who's got it like going on and got it like that. But why are you sitting at the spot telling your mom that, oh, I want to throw this event and I'm inviting everybody except for Zama because we didn't get off to a right start and we can't find like our footing in this dynamic, her and I. And also she said some stuff about you and dad. I would rather not repeat what those things are. Is it because there's nothing to repeat? This is the shit about Angel, where the pathological stuff that Maria is alluding to, it's not necessarily that. She's like Ashley, or what Ashley said about Giselle and Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, if you say something to them, right, they'll add a little sauce to it. They'll stank on it to like give it flavor. What was said? Why be so vague about what was said? Oh, I can't even repeat the stuff she said about you and dad, so I can't do this. But anyway, she also talks about the fact that she and this man, they've only been together for a year. Sitla or something his name is, I don't know. We've seen him though, right? She's learned now, she's giving mom an update on her gynae visit, that she's got a clean bill of health and like a healthy reproductive system and she could carry, and they aren't seeing any of the fibroids that they'd found in her lumps a bit ago that were creating problems for her. And she's been worried about this. It's been like crippling to her to think about this for a bit. And then she says, the mom is like, you know what? I've said to you that relationships are going to have their struggles, but it shouldn't be so early on. That's telling of what's going to come. Then I remember that Angel is 30. Angel is 30 with reproductive issues, right? Like with fertility issues and stuff. Around this time is when the pressure mounts, right? For all intents and purposes, she has the perfect life. She seems to do okay in her businesses. Girl, I don't know. She's got businesses. She seems to be doing okay in her businesses. And she's a good-looking girl. She's doing well on social media in terms of numbers. I don't think she's complaining about money or anything like that. So what's missing, right? Society would say a man and children, or marriage and this thing. When we get to this age, we tend to start to want to rush things. We don't want to vet. We think it's our turn, right? We just want to jump in and ignore red flags, you know? She's now saying to her mom, you know, our values are so far apart and we're not the same people. We come from different You were just about to marry this man, according to you, unless you were lying and that was the storyline. But just a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about letters being sent and houses being built. Are you lying, Angel? And what all are you lying about? Right? Fine. So we have a scene with So and a surprise visitor. This person we haven't seen since I think season 1 or 2. One season 4. My boss drops by at Sarisha's house. Her daughter answers the door. She comes down, has some champagne, chilled for her. I love a tea drinker who knows other people drink other things. Hey, so girl, if I come over, like, get me. Fine. Sarisha has some ice chilled for my pussy. Sarisha, you get Sarisha, guys. Sarisha's a producer, and Sarisha's messy, and Sarisha is just so messy, guys. Sarisha's now like, oh, everybody always alludes to the fact that Mabusi's not friends with anybody, but her and I never found out. Bitch, you have not mentioned this woman from, I don't know, season what? Have not. You've been going on about your life with your friend Annie, who's now off the show, so your bestie is now Slee, and now you're telling us you and Mabus have always been like click tight like that, like until the wheels fall off. Like really so girl. So you're just being messy. She invites Mabusi over, they catch up. She's like, how's the Yanni business going? She's like, no, I'm getting back into the hair business. Mabus, you want to wear better bundles if that's what you're trying to do, babe. Okay, just from, I love you girl. And she's like, no. And then she's like, oh, where are you with all the ladies? She's like, no, Jojo and I thought we were cool. We actually did a radio or a podcast or something. They went on a show together, and the show was about like displaying like growth around like, you know, forgiveness and being able to move past it and move on and actually build a good relationship or something like that. And she's like, but when we got back, this chick blocked me, like, and I don't know what I've done to her. It really caught me off guard. Nonko and I are still not fine. It's been whatever, but like, you know, Nonko, just a review ago, I was saying to you guys that I actually don't think her and Jojo are malicious, and for the most part they aren't. But in terms of Nonko, when I saw Mabusi, well, I remembered her treatment of Mabusi and how engineered and intentional it was to bring this other black woman who is less than you onto the show for the sole purpose of flaming her for views, right? Because you have such a low self-esteem, and standing next to these women, you don't feel like you measure up. So you brought in somebody whom you think is lesser than you to put like to take the pressure off of you, make her the butt of the joke, make her the one that doesn't have the nice bags and think it's funny. But you brought her into the group as your friend, and then you tried to do the same thing with Slee, but it didn't land. With Slee. Then I remember there is a streak of like malice in you, Nonko. There is a streak of you being malicious. You literally brought in Slee for this, and it irked you to the core that the women that you rate, whom you want them to rate you in return, or Sarisha in particular, you would like for her to see you as somewhat of an equal or worthy, or have the strength of relationship that she seems to have built with Slee. Off of what? Because not character. Not that. When my pussy walked in, I remembered that about you. You're disgusting. Okay. Also talk about my pussy vibes. They talk about my pussy vibes, and she's like, you know, Sosa's like, when you initially heard that, what'd you make of it? And my pussy says, you know what? Initially, I was just like, yeah, but like when it kept going and then it was explained, I was like, oh, okay, is that how they see me? Is that what's going on here? You know, what is this? Because I thought me and Nonko were okay for the most part, but this is actually her take on me, and it stung, you know. And then she says, Sosa then invites her to Angel's infertility party, and she mentions that it's Angel's event. She's like, oh, I met her on a podcast with a mutual friend. She's vague, she's familiar with me, so I don't think she'd mind having me there as a +1. This is the mess that I signed up for. This is the type of shit I'm trying to see right here. This producing, okay? Maria. One thing about Maria will wear an impossible strappy heel and do a catwalk. And she gets the best head to toe shots. Pay attention. Sometimes some of the ladies, we don't get shoe cam. With Maria, we always get shoe cam because her shoe game is always fucking sick. It's always sexy, right? She really works hard to give us that like glam doll housewife look, and she does it really well. Love that for her. Really, I do. I love a girl that can strut her stuff, right? She goes over to JoJo's because, you know, she just wants to be back cool with JoJo so fucking bad. Ruan hasn't seen, which is great because, you know, I love when he's not on my screen, honey. She goes over there, they're chatting for a bit, and JoJo mentions that, oh, I've invited Amy, but I'm not sure if she's gonna arrive because she hasn't replied. Amy, why didn't you tell the woman that you were gonna come? Guess you have a lot going on, girl. You got 2 kids, it's a lot, okay? But Amy does arrive eventually. The ladies sit and they're having snacks and they're talking and they're asking questions. This is how you get to know somebody that's been brought into your friend group. You ask them. You don't go ask Google, okay? Because Google is hearsay, especially if the person is sitting across from you. These ladies, unlike Zama, have decided, we've also heard rumors, we've also seen the trending videos, but you know what? Would rather sit across from Amy and have Amy really tell us what the deal is and not Google. And she was so transparent. She gave them all the answers. There's not one question that she was like, oh, I don't think I want to answer that. She was so open. You know, they had like giggles about it. It was a great scene. In the scene, we find that, okay, this is what I'm not liking about the Amy and new Londi beef. So this is not Londi London, it's another Londi. We're learning that new Londi is friends with Londi London, right? And it's murky. The story keeps building and building and building, but it sounds like Amy's not giving us the details of what the gossip was, just that she called a really good friend of hers, talked shit about her to a friend of Amy's friend, not knowing that Amy and that girl are really tight like that, like that, like that. And so that friend then called Amy. She's like, this girl's busy liking your stuff and acting like this, but she just called me and she like said all of this to me. To which then Amy went into the inbox of New Londi and was like, babe, quit talking shit about me, right? But we never hear what the shit talking was. We never get like the grimy details of, oh, she called me an ugly bitch or whatever, you know, like we never hear. I don't like that. And I don't know if it's because she's trying to like not get her friend in the mix, because once you give specifics, New Londi could simply just be like, that's not what I said. And now you got to do a back and forth and a back, where you could just choose to believe what your friend said and tell this other bitch, don't fuck with me. And also, we learned that Amy, see, I was confused at her because I'm like, girl, where's your sense of discernment? Not her ex-husband, but it seems like she dated a scammer after her divorce. Somebody who swindled her. And now Londi London is apparently dating that guy. And New Londi met up with her cousin and said to her cousin, oh, is Amy mad that my friend Londi London is dating so-and-so? Or try to make like, baby, Amy said she was scammed, swindled, and you still think that fucking dude is the prize? You really think she's over here coming apart because Londi London is probably over there and is the new Mark? Also, when other women tell you guys this is how this guy moved, why you think your ass is bigger and your waist is smaller and your ratio of like hip to whatever is so crazy that shit is not gonna happen to you? Londi London is always trending. 1 minute she's been bought a car, 1 minute she doesn't have the car anymore. 1 minute she is this, the next minute she doesn't have it, and it's always around fucking with these types of dudes. Down to that baby daddy. I looked at him, I'm like, babe, what in the Mababuzi meets like Zola in Yizo Yizo is this shit? Why are the, you know what guys? I've been meaning to do a video about the new age baddies don't move the way the old school baddies used to do. The Sarisha girls with that Ayanda girl that she had on the show, right? Put what's her name in it. JoJo did the right thing as well. You get an older man, right? And like, you know, the PP is like, you know, it's like, and when it's like up for like, that's who you go for. You bitches keep trying to go for some dude with like, I either temporary money or funny money, or you want the money to come with like swag. And then you get done in. Faith and Getty, Lanty fucking London, the baddies are going out sad. Real sad. And the other reason you all are going outside is because you don't listen to each other. If I go there right now and I'm telling you, yo sis, yeah, it's not gonna go well for you there you go running, thinking it's gonna run differently for you. What you got? You guys are acting like your set of like tits in your drawers and you change them out so he doesn't get bored, or he wants them droopy today. I'm wearing this set. It's nothing fucking special about you, bitch. The novelty of you will wear off just as well. Like, like, oh my god, so silly. So silly. Oh, we also learned that she's still going through her court cases. Amy apparently learned that her husband at the time had a whole new life, a house and everything with this other woman somewhere. And then she went to confront that girl, and when she was over at that girl's house that she has with her husband, believe it or not, these people are having a whole life, a full relationship, and her existence is just as valid as yours. I know it's a hard thing to hear when they've put a ring on your finger first, simply because you came first for the most part. You can't fathom that this person may feel just as strongly about that other person, hence why he bought her all these things. I know it's a bitter one to swallow. Take your time. You can pause the video here. Okay. But anyway, she went over there and she took stuff because she's like, this is my stuff, on account of, you know, her husband, probably community or probably or whatever. But anyway, she was arrested for like stealing that stuff. She was reported for stealing that stuff, and she has a whole court case. And you guys go through a lot for men. I don't want to lie. You do. Celia Kali goes over to see Soso. I don't like when they have hair on her. And it's not for me to like, obviously. I can tell she's a woman who likes to experiment and change up her looks. But she's so beautiful. Didn't crush, y'all know. Didn't crush. Everybody knows that. She's so gorgeous that whenever they put the wigs on her and stuff, it's taking away. It's adding nothing. It adds nothing. When they take all of that stuff away, oh my god. There goes my baby. There she goes. So I feel about sleep. So I hate like her confessional look. I hate it. I hate this. I love the ensemble, the black and white she's wearing when she goes over to Soso. I don't like the fucking wig. Baby, I don't like it. Don't wear it. She goes over to see Soso, and they've a good conversation about what's been happening in the group. They're like, oh my god, Nonko feels like a new person. She's so enjoyable and stuff. Then they talk about maybe like we should let up on Zama. Have we been rude to her? You know, no, you haven't. You haven't. But she's counting on it. She's counting on everybody feeling like, oh, we've attacked her, it's enough. But have you attacked her? Was it unwarranted? No. She auditioned and earned it. Every time she was being questioned, it's because she had done something. Why are you feeling bad about that? People like that count on that. Because I asked in the last review, I was like, oh, is it a gang up? But it's like, have you done these things though? Because then it doesn't fucking matter. And then you continue to do them. After all of that happened, you went to the mixology class with Maria, and then you lied on Amy. So it doesn't stop. So no, you've not been unfair. No. She's never wrong, by the way. Zama never apologizes for shit, and she's never wrong. She's fucking manipulative. That's what she is, right? She'll make you. She did it in the scene with Sarisha that we'll talk about just now. But no, then we also talk about parents, right? Slee says to Sarisha, you know, the thing with my dad, there's some things I want to confront him about, to work through, to let him know where I am, and not necessarily for him to acknowledge, but for me to get it out. I need to mentally be prepared for the fact that he's going to try to defend his position or not even acknowledge or validate my experience. being his daughter and his lack of parenting, or so to speak. To which Sarisha says, you know what, I've had to let people go or love people from a distance, but that, and yo, Slee has that wound is deep. That father wound seems deep over there. So it's a nice one to unpack, because I feel like as a nation of dads who just can't opt out, a lot of us may resonate with this on different levels, right? That's a nice one. Oh, Sarisha links up with Zama. I don't know what the fuck Zama was wearing. Luckily, she's beautiful. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Why was she wearing that? It did look like a costume. It looked like she's in like costume. But they link up. She walks in. Zama is the type of person whose energy permeates, and her energy is never good. That's what's fucked up, right? Either it's giving nothingness or it's giving all the negative. And I feel it even through screen, right? In her confessional, she's always trying to be very like stoic and poised and like right? Never like, oh, how I moved there was kind of fucked up. No. We're always getting like rehearsed, calculating in real time, constantly. If I was to ever sit across from a person like that in order to have dialogue where the aim is like resolution, I'd get up immediately and go, because conflict resolution is not in her nature or her demeanor as she walks in the room. Sarisha's there after speaking to Steve, because Steve was like, I think you should make time to speak to her, because Soso said she wanted to apologize about the fact that she feels like she hasn't been there for her when everybody's been attacking her since she's been in the group. Again, if I was Sarisha, I wouldn't apologize, because I did not bring you into the group for you to go around starting to scanner about people. And so when people confront you about you scannering about them, they should do so. It's not my responsibility to have your back when you're moving fucking mad. How does that work? Instead of apologizing, why is your conversation not, I'm very disappointed in how you've been moving? And Zama, Miss I'm victim and I'm right, walks in with the attitude of somebody who's been wronged, right? And then they talk circles, because this is what she reminds me of. A narcissist. I know, I'm not saying she's a narcissist, but semantics. They will make you debate nuances, or like, because they're trying to get control of the conversation and steer it so they stay in control of you. Right? I'm going to make you use my words. I'm going to make you change your language, right? Because I'm going to get control of this, right? Because Sarisha's like, Slee and I spoke and this is what we feel. To which she says, no, talk for you. Just speak for you. Mind you, they did actually sit and talk about it. And Slee said, hey, I think you should be the one to speak to her. Constantly trying to get control of you. Trying to get you to walk this narrow line with them. Oh, I don't feel you've been there for me. And well, bitch, I feel like I've egg on my face for bringing you in the group, is what Sarisha should have said. Bitch, I really feel, I thought you were grown. You know, you always gave me grown woman tease, grown woman shit. And then you came in here and you're slinging mad like nga kreche and nasi kreche mo, is what the fuck Sarisha should have said. But, you know, in her fucking pageantry bag, I just wanted to apologize because I feel like I haven't been there for you and everybody's been attacking you. And, you know, and then there's Zama. Do you really feel like these friendships are real though? Are they friendships or alliances? You know, and I don't need anybody's friendship in this group. I've got a good solid, a good pool of friends. You fucking don't. Anybody can see that. You are the type of person who looks like you burn bridges left, right, and center. And the only bridges you have standing are of people who feel like they need you. Maybe a cousin who isn't done as well in life. Right? So they never say anything bad about you because when they need airtime, you buy it. Hence buying their affection and their position in your life. I don't believe you. I don't feel the need to be friends. Then get her the fuck off my screen. If she's not going to put in a concerted effort to actually build relationships, these women aren't in the wrong. How are you the one with your guard up when you're the one who've come into the space and trash talk everybody to everybody? But you're the one who feels like people need to audition for your affection, for your friendship. Don't nobody be friends with you, girl. Oh, yeah, I have a solid group of friends. I don't need... Get her the fuck on my screen. Like, I can't stand Zama, guys. I can't. This group, I don't want to be part of a group if it seems like they are big on icing out people who are genuine and honest. Baby, are those the adjectives you want to stick with? Because Sarisha then says, genuine and honest. Yes, because according to Google, you're 43. Then she's like 40, 43, whatever. I'm in my 40s. Lie. That's giving I lied about my age. Therefore, let's scratch out the honest. And you're definitely not genuine. Because that question that you put at that game is of somebody who's like fucking not genuine. I don't like Zama. I don't like her. She's a lot for me and I deserve better than her. The party. The ladies trickle in. People, again, go and watch. Maria, strutting, strappy, stiletto. Like, bitch. I love all the bright colors. Like, I love seeing all them sit there. Angel, the host, is in like a... that outfit was very much like giving Tinkerbell tease in a way that I can't explain. Outside of the fact that it's a mini and it's green. It's not even Tinkerbell's shade of green, but it kind of is. She's wearing like... I loved it. New Londi arrives first, and then they talk about her little tiff with Amy. And then she's like, hey man, we'll talk it through and we'll find out what's happening. But I'm not that kind of person that, for whatever reason, her being friends with Nonko doesn't bode well for her in my books. Because I'm like, yeah, that shiesty bitch that brought you into the group, I don't know, I can't get with you. Like, off of your association, and that's the person who brought you into the fray, girl, I'm gonna have to hold off on you a little bit. I'm gonna have to make you audition for me to like you the way Zama thinks the world needs to audition to be around her fucking stank ass. But anyway, the ladies trickle in, right? And then no, as they're talking, Angel and Thingaki, New Londi, so calls, and she's like, hey, it's a plus, can I bring a +1? I never take advantage of that, blah 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 blah. To which Angel's like, listen, as long as it's not Zama, then I'm cool with you bringing a +1. She's like, where are you? She's like, I'm around the corner. This is television making. Sarisha was held back. All the ladies trickled in, their guards down, relaxed, and when they were in the right mood, production was like, okay, you walk in now, so with my buzz. That's what the fuck they did, honey. Well, that's how you television making. I love it. But yeah, the ladies walk in, everybody's looking so cute. See, not everybody got shoe cam. I'm telling you, Maria's that bitch. Soso walks in as everybody's sad. Jojo awkwardly stands up and tries to extend a hug to her. Mabusi's very cold about it. Amy also hugged everybody at the table and made sure to snub Londi. And Londi's like, she hugged everybody except for me. Yeah, girl. You know y'all aren't cool. Oh. Anyway, Sarisha walks in. With Mabusi, and all the awkwardness happens. Noko stands over to Faith, go hug her. It's all fake, right? It's all giving tension and weirdness. Everybody sits at the table. Angel tells them about her journey, the lumps they found in her breast, the fibroids they found in her breast, how they operated, what she's had to go through. Then she tells them that, you know, they gift us the frame on the table, and they turn around and it's pictures of them and their kids, and it's all really heartwarming. You know, it was a nice, everything was going very, all very kosher and very cute. But I knew that wasn't gonna last, because this is television, honey. It's showbiz. Somebody has to fight, okay? I don't even know where to start with this situation. Sosa mentions that she met up with Mabusi. I mean, with Zama, and that she feels like Zama is really trying and they can turn a new leaf and there's some healing to do there, but it can be done, right? And this is a cute little segue from Mabusi to get it. And then she's like, Nonko's like to Mabusi, you know, I've changed too, Mabusi. I'm also a new person. So Mabusi's like, so you don't see Mabusi vibes anymore? She's like, oh, okay, is that what you want to talk about? You know, she's like, do you want an apology for it? And she's like, you know, I think I'm actually over it now. It's fake. I'm actually here more so to talk to Jojo. And she turns over. Her and Jojo have Amy in between them, but they write like it's Amy so they can do a cute little exchange like that, right? So she's like, you know, Jojo, I found you to be very fake. We went on this show together and I felt used. After the show, you blocked me. You see, there's some things about social media that are childish, and then there's other things where it's like, because in this group Mabusi is not met with the same level of humanity, her humanity doesn't weigh as much as everybody else's at the table, and it's always been the case. Her vulnerability and her hurt therefore are never validated, and they don't count as much. It's not about Jojo blocking her. It's about them, or Jojo acting like they're cool, and her thinking, oh my God, like we're chummy, and then without notice, you block me. It's not the social media block. It's the what the fuck just happened. You dropped me like a hot potato, and I thought we were doing this other thing. Second, it's the feeling used. You drag my black ass to wherever the fuck it is that the show was being done at, used me, right? After you threw a drink in my face for absolutely nothing. Used me to clean up your image. And then when I had done that little sweep up campaign for you, I was once again thrown out like trash. The same way you threw that glass of whatever that was at me. You were like, oh, okay, that's done now. The little cleanup campaign is done. She served her purpose. Boop. Right? Because we wouldn't know that you've blocked my boss. We're not checking for it like that. You know. What we know is that the last time we saw you and her, y'all were on a forgiveness journey and starting over and chummy. She served a purpose. Now I can get rid of her. And everybody's making it about that fucking stupid block. Because Mabusi is not like them. There's a lot happening here, and there's quite a bit happening here, and it's upsetting to a person who looks like me, having had certain experiences that are exclusive to people who find themselves, for lack of a better term, being mammified, right? Such is the case with Mabusi, because Mammy's purpose is to just serve, right? You are never a real actual person. That's why people can make you the butt of the joke, right? And you are supposed to be a doormat and just be there to serve people. And sometimes the serve is you allowing people to make fun of you or to use you. In the case of Jojo, you're not a real valid person. Your experiences, those aren't real. Okay, and when things happen to you, either somebody decides that they're gaslighting you, they invalidate your feelings and your experiences, they laugh about it to try and make it small. This is the second time, if not third, that we've seen Mabusi's feelings being something to laugh about. Back in season 1, I can't even remember what was happening, but Homoto, who was on season 1, said something in Zulu because it's the only phrase she knows in any fucking African language, where she said somebody did something to Mabusi to hurt her, and then they did it again, and I think it was Nonko, and then she's like, Mabusi's like, you're doing that thing again. Then Homoto said, oh, you know, so nice she had to do it twice. She said that in Zulu, right? And Mabusi looked and everybody chuckled. It was a joke. It was a joke that Mabusi's feelings were hurt. We're sitting at this table, Mabusi's like, dude, you used me and then you blocked me. Everybody's like, block. Like, I don't even know who's following me. It's not a... You know it's not about that. She went to great lengths to explain why the block caught her off guard. And then she calls Jojo fake for it. And everybody's like, fake? Bitch, yes, fake. I walk in here, right? You're shell-shocked to see me obviously arriving with so-so. And you're awkward, but you, again, right? The cameras are watching. Jojo springs into mode of, ooh, people know I threw a drink at this girl for no reason. Let me extend a little hug to her so they see that we are actually cool, right? But you're not. You've blocked this woman. How the fuck is that you not being fugazi, bitch? Like, how? Why are you getting up and extending a hug to this woman that you just blocked? How is that not fake? Explain to me. I will wait. How? Is that some, like the realest shit cap? Please stop it. Please stop. She could have just sat there and played with her drink and with her body language communicated that, you know what, we've streamlined the communication here. If I'm not talking to you online, it's block in real life too. Did she do that? No. The cameras are watching. She's trying to play it up like they still cool, right? So that the cameras catch the, right? Once again, the cleanup, using my Mabusi to still appear like everything is cool over here. When you just said to this woman via social media, I don't want you in my space like that, without explaining to her why. But oh no, so extra. You really came here to do all of that. You really, oh my God, like the black women sitting at this table constantly doing this to this other black woman and coming to the aid of this white bitch is like driving me mad. She is exactly that, a white bitch. Like, I don't know what you guys actually want us to say. She's white and she throws around her whiteness and her tininess. That's bitch behavior. She does it especially to Mabusi, right? That is exactly what she's doing. Mabusi is a woman who's presenting a certain way, physically, and comes from a certain background. And then here is Jojo, standing up, physically imposing her little bitty stature on this other woman who's like bigger than her. Do you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of every time we're online and we see a tiny breed of dog, right? A Pomeranian or a fucking Chihuahua going rah-rah and just being fucking crazy. And there's all these people in the comments saying, this thing you guys do when you have a tinier breed and you encourage this behavior instead of training your dog is not cool. It's especially not cool when that tiny dog is antagonizing a much bigger breed, right? But that other dog has to like be tamed and hold itself back and not attack. Because if it does that, we no longer critique what the little Chihuahua was doing. We want to make this about the reaction of the bigger thing. As is the case with Mabusi. Nobody is talking about that this white woman, from the time she's been on the show, she's found it okay to physically get up in the middle of arguments, physically impose herself on people in a manner that's threatening. It's always made to seem like not such a violent thing that she's doing. That is whiteness. That is peak this woman using her whiteness to get away with this shit. Because nobody else, I couldn't get away with this. If I got into an argument with Mabusi and I stood up, we'd have to square up. Like Mabusi was gonna stand up and it was gonna be go time. Do you understand what I'm trying to say though? That nothing else, and nobody was gonna bat an eye. Everybody was gonna say, why did she stand up? We all know that, but not Jojo. She did it to sleep. Right? She flings glasses. It's a pattern with her. I don't know how you all are missing it. Every time she overreacts, she also makes sure to leave the table, right? Every fucking time. Without fail, when Jojo overreacts, she leaves the scene so as to have everybody scattered, running after her, and in so doing, validating her overreaction. She's done this since she's been on the show. Threw a glass at Mabusi, walked away, right? Threw a glass at that table because she wasn't having a way. Temper tantrums galore. When I tell you this bitch is 12, I've seen like better behaved 12-year-olds. I don't even know what this animal behavior is. So beastly, just so wild. Ugh, what's that about? Threw the glass at the table, flung that thing, whatever liquid was in there, got a Nonko's eye. Nonko's like, oh, she didn't mean to. What did she do? Goes off. Maria, this is last season. Maria runs after her. Everybody runs after her to make sure she's okay, right? Now, we can't critique the violence she's just enacted. We now need to run after her and make sure she's okay. Again, what did we do here? Overreact. By the way, the reason she stands up is because Mabusi is having words with her. Nonko tries to jump in. She says to Nonko, you just shut up because you and our part was done. Then she says, you don't tell my best friend to shut up. And she stands up and she goes, I'm sorry, is that cause to stand up and start doing this at somebody? Is it? Anywhere else in the world, you're getting laid out. You are getting your little stupid self flung across the room. I am so sorry. But not here. Why? White womanness. White womanness in this group of black women. At the back of their mind, especially if you're Mabusi, you're hyper aware of it. That socially, how you all are positioned, you cannot. Why wasn't it Mabusi who stood up first? Please tell me why. Jojo's violent. She's violent in more ways than just her physically standing up. Her behavior is violent and triggering to black women like me because she knows what she's doing. And if you spent enough time analyzing this kind of behavior from women like her, you know that she knows what she's doing. She's well aware that you can't really do anything to defend yourself. Anything you do, you will end up being critiqued and you will end up being policed. And people will start, it's semantics, right? People will start nitpicking at your reaction. Oh, Mabusi, but you can't call her a white bitch. Why not? Why exactly the fuck not, Angel? The other disservice you black women are doing on this cast is making like saying something is white and somebody's black. That false equivalency that you all are trying to do, like that shit holds the same weight. I want to say read a book, but start with a chappy bubblegum rapper, bitch, because you are dense. Okay? Stupid. Not the same, could never be the same. The experiences, the history is such that the two can never hold the same weight. They can't. Why are you always trying to play like the politically correct bitch? Why? We don't speak to each other like that, you're right. We don't stand up over each other and do that because then we know you're asking for a fight. We actually don't do what Jojo did, not what Mabusi did. And immediately, in true Mammy style, Mabusi now is also like kicking into self-correcting mode, right? Meanwhile, Jojo is over there, hasn't seen a damn thing wrong with what she's done. Not one thing. She's now run off. All her little buddies, what's her name? Nonko has stood up and ran after her. Maria is actually sitting, then realizes, oh, fuck, I want to come back another season. So Risha and I aren't that close. The producers seem to like Jojo on the show, so let me get up and run after her and be a little enabler like I did last season and make like Sorisha is the problem for standing by Mabusi, who's just had this Pomeranian-esque type creature gnarl at her. The fuck? There they go. Jojo's never wrong, by the way. Jojo has not spotted one thing the matter with what she's done here. But everybody's now saying, and Mabusi's like, yeah, I'm sorry I used that kind of language. On your behalf, Mabusi, I am not sorry you used that language. You could have called Jojo, I see you next Tuesday, and I would have been like, we need to get that on a shirt. We need to get that on a good quality shirt so I can get good wear out of it. Because that's exactly how she behaves, and she deserves to be called names. She deserves to be called out of her name. If you're going to behave like a wild animal like that, you ought to be called out of your name. They come back to the table, right? They want to iron things out, right? She explains to Mabusi only now, oh, what had happened is people on Twitter Spaces were threatening me, threatening my child's life, threatening to find, like, people were trying to dox me, my safety. Okay, people on Twitter Spaces were doing that, so you blocked Mabusi, right? And she's like, you were saying things on podcasts. That sounds made up. Even if she was, yeah. But you were saying stuff on, and Mabusi's like, dude, I was defending you on social media in these spaces when people were saying this about you. They're trying to iron this out and find a middle. Fucking dumb over there across the room, Nonko, decides to say, I'm sorry, you can't say you were defending her when you just called her fake. Girl, your best friend is practically flammable. She is fake. Like, what are you talking about? She can't say, literally correlation. Somebody make me understand what Nonko was hearing and what was being said. I called her fake for blocking me right now in real time. If I say I was defending on those Twitter Spaces, which is why I don't understand why she blocked me, because I had her back. What are you confused about it there? This scene had me, I'm telling you now, as a person who's at the mouth I've had my whole life, and I physically presented this way most of my life, I know what it's like when people constantly feel like they can say or start with you, right? And the moment I fix my mouth, right? Before I even say anything, somebody's already like, no, Didi, no fucking what? No, Didi, like, let it go, let it go, right? Because, yeah, I need to understand that you're fragile. My feelings are never real and I'm never hurt. You're fragile. What? Where? What for? It turns out Maria's planning a trip. And she's Slee, who had Jojo stand over her, arguing with God knows who, if it was not her in the last season. I can't even recall what that was. At that Ocean's Mall opening thing. She did this thing. And I think it was her. Yeah. I remember Slee left that event early. And Slee was new to the group at the time. When they come back to the table, Slee's asking Joe, are you okay? And she, do la fa, say, Slee, do la fa, say, where are you going? Is she okay, girl? That is none of your business. It's none of your business whether or not she's okay. Thoughts and prayers, girl. What do you mean? Maria's planning a getaway anyway, and she tells Slee about it, and it looks like the women are going away in this coming episode, which is Wednesday, I think. We saw Zama go to, is it Vita Clinic? Is that what it's called? But they are a specialty clinic, and I think they deal with like reproductive health and stuff. We know that she had like fibroids, she had surgery right before COVID or during COVID and stuff. Then she went for her post-op checkup, but she hasn't been since. And it looks like she's got a clean bill of health. Everything is looking great and good in there. So if she's ever to decide that motherhood is something that she would want, things are looking up for a girl in that regard, even though in other ways she's just, I can't deal with her. But anyway, this is a long video. Long. And I know going, like, for the rest of the season, we're gonna see if Mabusi comes back in. Somehow Joe is not gonna be wrong. We can't say things like the girls lack range, because people get hurt when we say that, but like, range is lacking. Different. You see what I did there? Anyway, bye, Yella.